Hi, my name is Guido Kirsten. I'm a principal scientist at Chemical Computing Group. Each application requires polymers with different properties. As there is an endless number of possible polymers, it is impossible to synthesize and measure them all. That's where the polymer property predictor in Mo comes into play. So let's get started. I have already built the two polymers that I mentioned in the Mo main window, the polycarbonate and the polyisoprene. To predict their properties, we go to Mo, Compute, Simulations, Polymer Properties. The Polymer Properties panel has a header where you can select the polymer and the property. It has an empty space where the results of the prediction will be displayed and some buttons at the bottom. Let's start with Predict, and that will show us the scalar properties of the first polymer on screen. Amorphous materials like polymers have several solid states. At lower temperature, they are brittle like glass, and at higher temperatures, while still being solid, they become more flexible. The temperature where this transition starts is called the glass transition temperature. For our polycarbonate, Mo predicts 448 Kelvin, which is very close to the experimental value. If I change the polymer now to polyisoprene, I get a prediction of 320 Kelvin, which is a little bit above the experimental value of 290 Kelvin, but keep in mind that most polymers have additives that are used to influence the properties. Now let's have a look at the temperature-dependent properties. For example, we can look at the refractive index, which is important when you develop optical fibers. Here we have the curve for polyisoprene, and if I click on Plot All, you will also see the curve for polycarbonate in the same plot. With the second button, the plot attributes, I can change, for example, the tick spacing, and with the third button, Report, I get a text report from all scalar and temperature dependent properties of the chains in the system. If you would like more information about the polymer property prediction, please do not hesitate to contact us at support@chemcom.com.